Hi, everybody. Welcome to Serenity Cards and Coaching. I'm super excited to share the cards today. I've got 6 cards to share. We're only going to make 4, and one of them has a fun inside. But this class is the July Simply Stamping class, and I postponed it because I held my first ever retreat and it was amazing. And I hope you think about coming next year, but I postponed this. So many people already have this kit in your possession. I also have the PDF available and I'm happy to share how to make these cards. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start with this card right here. So let me put these others off to the side. Super cute. I'll just put, and this has a fun little surprise inside. But we'll go ahead and get started with this guy. So in your kit, you would have received 2 cards, and we're just going to make the one today, and I'll show you how to make that. And how do you get this kit? I sell kits. I might even have some of these left over. If you really love it, let me know. I sell kits. But then I also, like, if you purchase from me, I give free kits away. And then I love to just show you guys how to make it, and maybe you'll be inspired to make it on your own if you have similar supplies. So with this one, I give you all the ingredients. I've already adhered some of the things, and I'll show you the rest of the things. This one, sometimes people decide to pick whichever side of the designer series paper they want. In my case, I really do like this side, so that's the side I'm going to stick with. That's how I designed it. But when you're at home, you can make these the luxury of your own way and have some fun with it. I also teach these classes in person. We've already had this class for July. It was super fun. We had a full house, and that was super fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere some of the simple components right here. A lot of the cards in this kit have like a little strip like this, and I like it just for a little extra touch and a little extra emphasis. So I'm just adhering. Of course, I love glue. I'm just getting that basic all kind of adhered up, and then we'll go ahead and get to the stamping. So this is the Sending Smiles Across the Miles stamp set, and we first had a chance to play with this stamp set. Oh gosh, it first came out in the annual. Gosh, we did this at a bingo, I think in January. So super fun stamp set. And dies, and I really just wanted to pull it out again because it just has a lot of life to it. So we're going to play with this sending stamp, and then you could send smiles across the miles, all the good luck your way, sending sunshine, etc. So in this case, we're going to send smiles across the miles, and I've mixed and matched many of these different flowers, gotten to play with those in the kit. So let's just do sending smiles across the miles. Now, the card opens this way. It's so funny because people in the class were like wanting to do it this way. And frankly, you really could open it that way. It's designed this way, but again, you can do whatever you want. And I kind of like that it's got that on the side right there. So, oh, I think I see Carrie joining. I'm not sure. If so, hello, Carrie, welcome.
Hi.
I'm going to go ahead, I'm recording, and this is going to go on my YouTube. So I'm going to ask you to go on mute and then unmute yourself if you have any questions at all. But I just kind of gave an intro that this was the July Simply Stamping Kit, and this is a makeup class. So I'm just kind of going over the different steps and how you can be inspired to make it. So you know what I realized? I think I did Smiles Across the Miles first, so I'm actually going to do that. I just inked up the sending, but I'm going to do the Smiles Across the Miles. So I'm going to get my Smiles Across the Miles inked up, and of course with our clear stamps, you can see quite nicely where you want to stamp it. I kind of, I don't know, yeah, you can see it nicely. I kind of eyeball like the straight line of the text along the straight line of the bottom. And so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right there. And I'm working on a stamping pierce mat, which is really good when you're working with photopolymer. If you're working with red rubber, then it might be just too much cushion. So you don't always use these. You use these with the clear. And so now I'm going to come back in with my Sending Smiles across the sending. And the way doing it this way, I know that I've got it this one positioned where I want, and I know that I'm not going to run out of room. So so that worked out pretty nicely. So that's that. And now we're just going to go ahead and ink up the rest of these guys. So I'm using some of my favorite colors. I've got Lemon Lolly for the flower, like the daisy center, and I've got Berry Burst for the leaves and the petals, and then I've got Lemon Lime Twist for the leaves. So let me start with the leaves first, the leaves and the stem first. And so I'm using my Lemon Lime Twist. I'm just, you know, I might have gotten a little too much there, and often if I'm stamping on my Stampin' Pierce mat, that could come off. So I'm going to use a little paper towel and just kind of wipe off the sides like that. So, and this guy, I want to make sure that I'm going to put him just like I want the top of the stem to be straight. So the rest of it's going to be on an angle, and that'll be fine. So great, I've got that stamped. Now I'll come in with my petals, and I'm inking up my petals in the Berry Burst, and I can see there's like a little nook right there where the stem's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up right there nicely. And now I'm going to come in and place my daisy, and the textured part goes near the petals, and the circular part goes near the top, and then that's it. So I'll get my ink pad sealed up. We'll go ahead and assemble this card, and then I'll show you in this particular kit, there's 2 of them. So Carrie, what I was sharing is this is the Simply Stamping Kit. I have 3 major classes every month. I mean 3 recurring main classes every month. I have easy, medium, and hard. This one's the medium. So the easy would be a Stampin' Up! Kit. It's called Let's Kit Together, and it's a Stampin' Up! Kit, and they are pretty simple. But impactful and fun, and sometimes there's a little twist, sometimes there's a little fun fold. So that's Let's Kit Together. Simply Stamping is kind of in the middle. Oopsie. All right, I'm going to show you what I did. Simply Stamping is kind of in the middle. It's a little bit of technique and also intended to be pretty simple, right, given the name. Okay, I realized that I put this on dimensionals. I like it on dimensionals. So even though I glued it, that's okay. I'm just going to ignore the glue. It'll just dry underneath it. You can't even see it. I'm just going to dimensional it up and get it right on there. I like to use dimensionals. They sometimes cost more to mail, and so that's something to be aware of if you're looking to be like, if you're trying to decide should I put dimensionals on or not. Just be thinking about the overall thickness. Be thinking about what parts you want to have pop. But for me, I like a good pop, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to center it. There we go. And then in my kits, I usually have the bows already pre-tied, or if it requires some ribbon for you to wrap around and tie your own bow, then I'll give enough, probably give about 2 feet for you to go ahead and do that. But anyway, I already tied these little bows, and I'm using mini glue dots to get my bow kind of centered right there. I'm going to use my snips to kind of cut off the little babies. I love ribbons. I can't imagine, it's pretty rare that I'm going to have a card where I don't have a bow or a ribbon on it. I also love gems. And when you get a kit from me, you get gems as well. So I will kind of save time and not really put those on, but I'll show you the couple cards. So there's our Sending Smiles Across the Miles. That's card 1. And then you're also going to get, yeah, you're going to get those two. So this is, you're going to get that guy and you're going to get that guy. And you're going to get the two different bows. You're going to get the gems. You're going to get the designer series paper. And so super fun. If you're on my team, or if you want, you could buy my PDF, and I've got all the measurements and all the instructions in there. But that's a super fun, super cute design. So that was card 1, and we'll move on now to card 2.
That's really cute.
Thank you. Is that Courtney Lynn? Hi, Courtney Lynn. I didn't see you there. Hello, my
It
sweet.
is. How are you today? This
I'm
beautiful
very good.
cards.
How are you today?
Good.
Thank you for joining. So that was Sending Smiles Across the Miles, and now we're doing birthday wishes. So in your card, in your kit, you're going to get 2 cards, and with a little bit designer series paper, different designer series paper. This paper is from the Eclectic, I forgot the name, but Eclectic designer series paper pack. This guy actually was from the balloon pack, I don't know, Brilliance. I forgot the name of it. It was a fun balloon pack, but this is Eclectic. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to make, so you're going to get 2 cards. One of them just has a plain white inside. The other one, wait for it, bum, 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 has a super fun fold on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and make this version. And I'll keep that off to the side for reference and inspiration. I've already taken the time to assemble it a little bit because you guys don't need to sit here and watch me glue. And I think in the kit I forgot to put 1 sheet of basic white. So you may need to pull from your own stash and add a sheet of basic white. But basically, in keeping with the sketch I'm kind of following, there's a layer there and there's just a strip right there. Love these Contours dies. If you don't know these Contours dies, they come in a variety of different sizes. I love them. They're very universal. You can cut white or you can cut designer series paper. You can really do a lot with it. And then the inside, I've given you 2 pieces of paper. I don't remember what color that is. That looks like crushed curry. And then I've also given you 2 cardstocks and then 2 basic whites, which I've already taken time to glue a little bit so you don't have to watch. And then I gave you a sheet of 6x6. Now let me describe. This is a sheet of 6x6. So if you have 12x12 designer series paper, of course you can cut it into 4 squares. You're going to get 4 squares of 6x6. This is simply scored on the 3-inch line this way, the 3-inch line this way, and then it's scored on the diagonal right here. Now, I'll show you briefly. I love using my scoreboard. Hold on 1 second. If you've got a trimmer that has the capability, great. But I love using my Simply Scored scoreboard, and let me show you one reason why. So I've come in here and I've scored at my 3 inches, and then I've turned and I've scored at my 3 inches. Now I want to show you a trick that I do. I took a Sharpie and I put a line down the 6-inch center of the board. I mean, it goes a little beyond 12, but I put a line down the 6-inch. So when I want to score straight down the center of a diagonal, I simply line the tip up here on the Sharpie marker, and then you can't see the bottom, but I lined it up on the bottom too. So it's also like just right in the middle of the track. And then I how I get the track going is I actually get into the groove and I push it out a little bit that way. I come down here, I push it out a little bit that way. And then so that I don't skip tracks, I just very slowly go down the track. And I'm on the reverse side, so it's not going as smoothly. But anyway, it would go, if it was not scored yet, it would go very, very, very smoothly. So I love this Simply Scored. I mean, you can see how worn it is. I use it all the time. I just saw someone the other day on one of the boards. Her thing bent. She used it so much. It bent. She said, oh my goodness, I've been making too many swap cards. But anyway, so now you've got this inside, so let's take a minute on it. So whenever we're doing a fun fold and we really want flexibility, I like to burnish it, and then I come on the other side and I burnish it. Then I come over here, I burnish it. fold it again this way and I burnish it. Burnish means you really, really kind of break the fibers in the paper. By the way, this is a Serenity Sisters bone folder, and I give these to my team members. All right, so then on the diagonal, you also want to fold, and you want to make sure that you've got your everything lined up. You're going to burnish, and then you're going to fold it the other way. And you see how it's like really wanting to fold everywhere? It's like, oh yeah, we're willing to work with you. We want to be folded. We want to go where you want us to go. So now I've broken all the fibers, and now I hope I can do it. Okay, so by the way, you only want to score it one way. You do not need to score it the other way. And if you do score it the other way, you might cause yourself some confusion about what to fold where. But so you score it the one way. And then I don't know if you remember those games we played when we were younger, like those things where we, put sentences on the inside and kind of made them talk or whatever, or, pick from the bouquet. So anyway, you fold those guys in, and then you're going to get a square. And I know I did that pretty quickly, so let me do it again. I've got the diagonal here. The diagonal is going to be a mountain. What is a mountain? A mountain, if you look at it from the side, it looks like a mountain. And this is then going to be called a valley. So the diagonals are the mountains, and then the 3-inch like straight lines are the valleys. And so then you're going to go ahead and get it all folded up into a square, and that's it. Now I want that on the inside, so I'm going to do it the other way. So, and because I've burnished it so well, it's really going to cooperate. So there we have it. So I've already adhered these two on the inside. You don't have to, I like a nice liner. So I did that. And I want this so that it's going to open up this way. So what I like to do when I'm doing a fun fold is I put it right at the crease, and then I fold it over to make sure that it's not sticking out or not sticking out too far. I fold it over to make sure that it's centered where I like it. I fold it over to make sure that it's not too far over the middle, so that part's not folding up. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to glue the top. So I'm going to glue the top right here. Oh, this glue is not as cooperative today. All right, and I'm going to line this up again. Of course, now I lost my check. All right, that's working. So I'm going to come over. I'm going to give it a good burnish. Burnish means you just really, I don't know, you press on it so that it's really, really in place, I guess. So I've done that. So now we've adhered the one side. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to put adhesive on the other side. And I'm going to fold it over that way and burnish. And now I've got my fun fold. Now I want to tell you, this card is as fun to make and send, but it's really, I said it in reverse. This is as fun to receive as it is to send. So I got a card from my friend Kanika, and she made this fold, and I didn't know it. So I opened up the card. Boosh! There was like the sweetest message inside. It was just a delight. So I'm actually not gonna, in the interest of time, I'm not gonna decorate it here now. I'll come back a little bit later. Well, all right, I'm gonna adhere one. I'm gonna leave one for decorating later, so in case I make a mistake. So I'll show you how I decorated the inside of this one. So I decorated the inside of this one. I stamped over here, and then what are these? These are markers these are our Stampin' Write markers. I don't have exactly those colors, but our marker format has changed. And so it used to be the teeniest, tiniest tip, and you couldn't get a good like handwriting like that. But I now want to show you that the tip is like this. These write so nicely. If you do art journaling, if you want to match your handwriting to the colors, so that's curry and that's either misty or navy and that's freesia. If you want to match, you can do that very nicely with our Stampin' Write markers. So that was the inside. I wanted to show you that. I'll come back and get that all decorated later. And then I'll just show you the outside simply. So this is our contoured die. And then I cut the basic white to fit inside of that contour die. And then just very simply, I've stamped it in the matching colors, which I love. So I've got Night of Navy, Fresh Freesia, Crushed Curry. I made the leaves in navy. Isn't that kind of sweet? And then I've got the sweet navy bow and some of the gems. And then if you can see that little bit of bling, that's going to be our Wink of Stella. So we'll just get this guy stamped up pretty quickly. And so now these are, I try when I do these, I try to like show you as many of the stamps in action so that you can see just the variety of stamps and how they go together. So this, we haven't seen this guy yet. This is a different leaf stamp and he kind of fits really nicely like at a curve. I like to have the stem like straight up and then let the little personality of the leaf do whatever it's going to do on the bottom. And then I'll go ahead and stamp the large flower. What I love is our stamps just everything is meant to work together. Super simple, Simon. So if this is one stamp set and you can guarantee that the flowers are meant to go with the stems, I mean, you can just guarantee it's all meant to work together. So that was the big flower. And now, I mean, it may take a learning curve, right? But it absolutely is designed so that they all work together. And then that's kind of my job, is to help you see, well, wait, which one goes with which one? So if you ever have any questions, I'm happy to help you. You know, sometimes people say, gosh, why doesn't Stampin' Us tell us like exactly what the intention is? And I think it could take away from some of the creativity if they were to tell us exactly what to do. So I don't mind, like I love showing you, here's my interpretation, but it's kind of cool to see. Sometimes somebody will use a punch and I'll be like, holy cow, that's, you know, that's a whale punch. And they somehow got an umbrella out of that or whatever. Like, how'd they do that? But it's kind of cool to see how creative people are. So, all right, so that did really well. We didn't get our birthday wishes. So let's come in with birthday wishes. And I'll show you a tip actually for getting the sentiment mounted. So with our cling stamps, they can curve, they can, you know, sometimes have a little weird shape. So what I like to do, and I like to do it on a flat surface, I like to lay out the stamp so that all the curling is done. It has straightened itself out. And then I come in and I attach it like that. So then I know I've got a straight line. Now, it's not matching the block in a straight manner, but I can see right through it and I can see that that's straight, and I'm lining up the sentiment with the top of the paper. I was a little far away, but actually that did pretty good. So there we have it. So that's that guy. And then now I'll go ahead and adhere it and I'll get the little bow on it. And I'll show you a little bit of Wink of Stella to get it a little bit blinged up. So we'll get that guy right there. And isn't that sweet? And whoever thought that you would have navy stems and that it would look okay, but it just does. It's super cute. And so here you get your little, thank you, Courtney Lynn. You get your little pack of goodness. And so here you've got a couple navy gems. Now, in this particular kit from last month, you would have gotten 2 cards. One of them has an inside, one of them doesn't. So I love for you guys to learn, and yet also I want to make sure there's enough time for the kits to get done, and so I put 1 in there. But if you love it so much, you can take a pattern of your paper and put that on the, I mean, you could do it on all your cards, right? So now I'm just putting a couple little mini glue dots. I got these from our kits. So Stampin' Up! Has kits. I told you I offer 3 levels of classes, easy, medium, hard. For the easy, we use Stampin' Up! Kits. Well, Stampin' Up! Kits, I mean, they're all inclusive. They come with the adhesives, the stamps, the ink, the everything. This month, they're on sale. Guess how much they're on sale for? Guess how much the discount is? 30%. You can get Stampin' Up! Kits right now at a 30% discount. So pretty amazing deal. And very often, like, we don't use all the adhesive, so then we have extra that we can use. All right, so that is that card. We're going to put on a few little blings. I won't take our time and do that, but I will do the Wink of Stella. So I've got my Wink of Stella right here, and I'm going to go ahead and... So Wink of Stella applies very, very faintly, if you can see, but it gives just a little bit of bling. I think you can see that. So I always like to put it on a scratch piece of paper first, because sometimes it might glob out. It'll just be a big glob. And in that case, you just want to kind of, you know, get the brush clean and start over again. But this guy looks like he's behaving. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to very lightly just kind of go all the way around. I'm going around the petals. I'm going to go in the middle, around the petals. I'm going to go in the middle, and then I'll just wipe him a little bit clean, and there we have it. So that's our sweet card. So that is our sweet birthday wishes card. And I better get this off to Diane, huh? So that's that, guys. So that's 2.
Really, really cute.
Yay! And now we're gonna make a daisy card. Okay, this card is so sweet. And I'm gonna move this because now there's Wink of Stella there, and I don't want to get it on my card unintentionally. So we're gonna make this card. This is using an embossing folder in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. That's the Time Worn Type embossing folder. This is Lemon Lolly. This little piece actually came from designer series paper that was in the Daisy stack of designer series paper. You got like one sheet that had a variety of different little patterns, and this was one of the patterns. It's so cute. So we've got that piece right here, and then I've rolled out the daisy dies, and then we're going to make this one of birthday wishes, and we've got this beautiful balmy ribbon. So in your kit you'll get your little bit of ribbon, and you'll get your card. I've already started to adhere some things, but I wanted to show you a little trick too. So let's get all the ingredients out. Let's get all the fixins. All right, so I adhered the inside. That's fine. Super simple, Simon. Before I adhere this guy, I want to show you what I did. Many times I will take the length of ribbon. By the way, I would take these back if you ever want to send ingredients back to me and be good to the earth. I reuse these all the time. So I would take those back. I would take any of the kit packaging things back, or feel free to use it yourself. It's just great when you get that extra annoying piece of ribbon that's just like a foot and you're like, what do I do with it? Wrap it around this guy. It's a great thing. But anyway, so I've got my ribbon. I'm wrapping it around. I'm about a third of the way up, and I'm just going to tie a bow. Now, you might be thinking, gosh, you're not being very efficient with your ribbon. You could do that better. It's true, but my hands really need a lot of room. so I have a lot of room there. You might be able to economize on your ribbon even better. And honestly, I mean, if you're looking to economize, you don't even have to have it wrap around. You could just tie a bow right there, and then you could get a lot of use out of it. But I love texture. I love texture. I love little touches everywhere. I just do. So that's what we're doing here. So it's a pretty big bow, but we're gonna let it be a big bow today. And then I like to cut my edges on the diagonal, and I use our snips for this. And I have mine marked so that I have my gluey snips and then my not gluey snips, so that I know that I'm preserving my good scissors for my ribbon activity, so that I can get a nice cut. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. So I wanted to show you that little tip. It's just a nice little thing. You want to make sure your guy's going to fit on there. So I feel like I need to move him over just a little, if I still can. Oh, and I could untie it and retie it too. That's true.
That's a really pretty blue ribbon.
Isn't it pretty? Thank you. It's balmy blue, and it's just dreamy. It's dreamy and gorgeous.
Is that the ribbon that comes in the package with the pink and the blue?
It's not that ribbon. This is a different. This is a balmy blue.
No silver stripe then.
It's on its own.
Oh, pretty. Variegated.
Very
like,
pretty.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Balmy blue. Yeah, it's variegated. It's so pretty. It's really just, it's
Thank you.
very, very pretty. So now I've done that. I wanted to show you that guy. And then I can go ahead and adhere this. Sometimes I like to get my pieces adhered before I work on the small things because I'm famous for losing things. So I'll get as much of it assembled as I can and then kind of put it off to the side. So now we've got him good and assembled, and I want to show you how I did the daisies. So love these daisies. Cannot get enough of these daisies. So these daisies come as a trio, this particular set of dies, and they actually also had a little leaf on them, but I've cut off the little leaf. So in this case, we're not using the little leaf. I'm keeping the trio attached for the balmy blue leaves underneath. I've snipped them apart for the leaves that are going to go on top, and I've further, for the white ones, I've poked out the little holes. Now I want to show you the tool that I use to poke out the little holes. I've taken a paper pumpkin box to dedicate to the cause. I can't tell you how many times I've emptied it. This tool exactly in this form is no longer available, but this brush is available to add on to your Take Your Pick tool. So you can order this brush. It fits on your Take Your Pick tool. The brush also comes with, this is not the same as a foam mat. I don't know if you can see the difference. This is like foam and this is like a sponge, so it really is different. So I use this tool to poke out the middle. So I do it on the back. I come to the back and I roll. So you can see it's getting some of them. It's not getting all of them. That's the truth. It depends how small it is. So then I further come in with my Take Your Pick tool and I further come in and I poke out the rest of those little guys. So I will tell you, if you get a kit from me, I rarely will take the time to poke out all these little holes. But my helper does. I got a new helper here in California and she poked out all the little holes. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, so now I lost one of my daisies. So we'll just keep going. And I will show you how to assemble it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to color the centers. And so this Lemon Lolly, I love this color too much. This Lemon Lolly, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to color the center just like that. I'm just kind of going around where the little circles are and where the little dots are. You want to be careful when you put your lid back on. This has gotten a lot of love and a lot of use in a lot of classes and with a lot of cards. So you can see the tip is starting to shred a little bit. So I'm pretty much dedicating this to daisy centers and to things where I don't need it perfectly intact. But one thing you want to be careful of is you really want to precisely place your lid and you want to get a good snap, because if you don't, it's a risk of drying out. And if you just cram it in there, that is going to contribute to the shredding of the tip. So you do want to be careful about that. And just know these are consumable. I know that there's others on the market that are refillable, etc. And that is not the Stampin' Up! Journey. However, this matches Lemon Lolly exactly. And that's what I love about Stampin' Up! Is we match. So now I'm going to come over and I'm going to stamp my birthday wishes in Azure Afternoon, which I love this color. So, oh no, this is Comfort and Strength. Where did birthday wishes go? I got to do the dishes. I got to wash it because I think I used it somewhere else. So that's clean. All right, so now I'm going to come in and I'm just going to get it right smack dab in the center. Just a nice, crisp, clean birthday wishes. Really nice. You know, when I was first doing this, I thought, gosh, feels like that die is a little bit too big for that sentiment. But I don't think so. When you look at it in the context of the overall card, like you don't hang out on like the size of you like you really go to the daisies, and the triangle is the intention to get you to focus on the daisies. And then you just see the birthday wishes. So you're not, I don't know, sometimes we can look at one detail and think, oh my gosh, but really we have to look at the whole thing all together. Well, I lost one piece, so you guys are gonna just give me grace about that, please. I have dimensionaled the whites, and I glued the blue. So let's go with that. And we have two different size dimensionals. We have large dimensionals. These came in a kit, actually. That's why they're that form. So we have large and we have small. And we also have black. I don't often use the black, but I do use the difference of large versus small. And this is a great case for using small on the back of these daisies, because we don't want them to show. So the black, you know what, if you're one to do a lot of autumn cards, Halloween, whatnot, that's actually when the black ones first came out. If you're working with a lot of black, then it makes sense to use the black dimensionals. I guess people used to kind of color the side of them or whatever. I try to hide mine, so I've not found that it's an issue to just keep using the white. But we do have black if you want to. And there we go. Now you might see this guy might come through a little bit there. I'm fine with that. I'm just going to kind of color that. I don't mind if that dimensional shows through just a little bit. So now I've got it arranged this way. By the way, I think I took inspiration from this card from someone on Pinterest, but they did not have the addition of the blue. They did crushed curry and lemon lolly. And I really liked the addition of the blue. So thank you to the Pinterest person who inspired me. All right.
I like the blue better too.
Oh, thank you. I've adhered the blue daisies, and I did not poke out all the little circles because you can't see them. I'm going to just offset it a little bit. Just a tiny little bit, so it's got just a little bit showing behind, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the little guy, and I may need to roll out another one to get that third daisy right there, but let's just do this little guy. You can kind of see the size. There's like, if you really, really study the details, you can see little and you can see long. So as you're working with things more and more, you can start to see the details more, and you can see how things line up. But anyway, we've got that like that, and then we're gonna put the birthday wishes right there in the little corner. And there's our sweet card. So sweet. So I'll show you the finished version that's got the bling on it.
So pretty.
That's our pretty card. So sweet. And then you can, well, sometimes I cut it a different way, so you can have whichever way you're going to open it, but then decorate the inside with maybe some little daisies, and then super sweet. All right, we have one more card. And I love this one because it's using part of the sending smiles across the miles that we haven't seen yet. These are dies. So this is not a stamp, it's a die, and it matches exactly I mean, I just love that our stuff coordinates. So so we're going to send comfort and strength. This is just a pure purple, seems like a sweet card to send to someone who needs comfort and strength. So again, I've taken the liberty to assemble part of it for you. So you'll get the inside white layer, you'll get the outside, like you can see I've got a few different layers. I actually guess I dimensional this one, but that's okay, I'll dimensional the white one. But in any event, it's got a few different layers working our way in. So I've pre-assembled some of that, and now we're going to go ahead and assemble the rest of this. So if you open your envelope very carefully, you will get a little dot like that, which is the eye. If for some reason you don't get that little eye, you could very easily put a little gem right there. So sweet. Or you could take a marker if you have this Stampin' Right markers, or the blends actually, you could put a little dot right there for your sending, but a little gem would be super cute. I want to show you because when we did this in class, there was a little bit of a learning curve. So this word, I hope I'm not going to regret this. It can stretch and it can bend and it kind of can get into a wrong shape. So when you put it onto the white, you really, really want it to match. So I stretched it out, but now I'm squishing it back together. I don't think you can over squish it. I think you want to get it kind of as condensed as you can because we're going to glue it onto the sending. And what some of the class attendees were finding was that their end was too stretched out or whatnot. So you want to like play with a little bit so that you make sure that it's going to fit. So that's the first tip that I have for you is the size can go a little stretchy, so you want to take time to unstretch it. I don't know how else to say that, but I know that that's a good thing to watch out for. So we've done that. Now the next thing, now this is a funny bunny. This is a good case for glue, and this is a case where there can be a thing as too much glue. So I'm just wanting to put the tiniest little dots. I feel like that's even too much. So I'm gonna take a baby wipe and take a little bit of that off. And then I'm gonna come over here. I'm only doing it like at the thickest parts, if you will. And I'm only doing it like a few places. So if you can see that, I just have tiny little dots just kind of in the center everywhere. And so I've done that, and now I'm going to flip it over. I mean, one reason is you don't want to get it so saturated with glue that you can't hold it anywhere. So now I've got a couple nice handles. I can hold it in the upper left and the lower right. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to place it. The nice thing about a little amount of glue is as you're placing it, if it gets out of place, the glue won't show, like it won't be globs of glue on the white then. So this is a patient little thing. Like if you have this die and you haven't worked with it yet, it's a patient little thing, but such a beautiful impact, right? So this guy you don't want to rush through. You want to take your time with it. And again, I didn't adhere. I adhered just in the middle. And to me, I think that's enough. I could come in after and even put a little dot of glue on this and kind of put it under if I wanted. We actually do have adhesive sheets. That's what this is. And you could use an adhesive sheet on the back. So when you're rolling it through the die, you could make it into a sticker automatically. However, you're still going to have the same complications. You're still going to have the stretchiness and all of that. And then now you've got stickiness everywhere. So I think this way was better. I'm going to come in and I'm going to use the little dot in here, but really, if I didn't have this, you could absolutely come in and use a little gem. So I'm going to go ahead and place that right there. And I'm going to be very grateful that he's in place, and I'm going to set him aside for a moment. I'm noticing that I did have him on dimensionals actually, so I think I'll go ahead and dimensional him up right now. So so does anybody here have these dies?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Have you used them yet?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
it takes that patience, right?
Yeah. Courtney used it on her swap.
That's right.
Yeah.
Courtney Lynn, how did you do the adhesive? Patiently, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, very
lots
good.
of glue.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All right. Very good. This is one of the first times I'm using it and I love it. All right, so now I've got my sending. Now I want to do the comfort and strength. And I love that the comfort and strength fits right underneath, but I want to make sure that it goes right underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and find my comfort and strength. And I'm going to find my orchid pad. Love this purple. I've got my orchid pad. I'm going to look, I'm just going to lightly, I'm not going to smush, I'm not going to get it all over the block. Now I'm going to get it about where I want it, and then I'm going to move this out of the way, and then I'm going to stamp. And I did that so that I got the placement that I wanted. But I didn't have the sending adhered yet, because then to try to stamp underneath it would be too hard. So now we've got that. And actually, I guess I could wait to adhere this, but I'm doing it now. Then we'll go ahead and do these pretty flowers at the bottom. So we've got sending comfort and strength, and we'll put them right there. I was really grateful to take this guy out. I got him a while ago and I just didn't play with him enough. I was really grateful to get it back out. So, okay, that's good. So now we're gonna go ahead and do these pretty flowers, and I'll show you how I did the flowers. I started with the light color first, and it's the same flower. So I start with the light color first, and I'm just gonna kind of go like every other, like I'm leaving space between. And then on the far right, to give it a good balance, I'm stamping it even higher. So then I'm going to go ahead and clean it. I started with the lighter color first, so that when I go into the darker color, even though I've cleaned it, it's nice to go light then dark. So if there's any residual at all, then you're not staining the new ink pad. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to go every other, and I'm just not following a set pattern exactly. So I'll go ahead and go like that. Then I'm going to come in with the leaf, and then I'll come back in and do some of the little like light, I don't know. I don't want to say ghost. It's just very, very faint, like triple, quadruple layer stamping. So I'll show you that in a minute. So now I've got, where is the leaf that I used? I'll just go with this one. It might have been a different one, but I'll use this one because I've got it right now. So now I'm just doing little hints of green. So I'm just kind of poking little hints of green wherever there's an additional white space. I'm just coming in, giving little hints, little hints, little hints. So there we go. We've got a little bit of greenery added to the picture. And then finally, I'll come back in one final time. I'm going to clean my stamp really well. And I'm going to like really, really, really stamp off. And then just do, like, can you see that? It's just the faintest, faintest, faintest amount. So I'm just going to kind of come in and just do faint little colors along the top. So there we go. That is our sending comfort and strength. And the final
That's really
thing
pretty. I thought that was designer series paper.
Did you? Aw. Then in your little goodie packet. Now, I don't know that I gave everybody the exact same twine, because I had some basic white and I had a few different colors, but you all got some twine. That's what I love about Stampin' Up! Is it all matches. So now, and I want to make sure I'm doing this with clean fingers, so I'm really touching just this edge because I'm not trusting my fingers right now, but I wrapped around a couple times. So I'm going to wrap around a couple times, and then I'm going to tie a bow on the left. I might have been like super generous with this twine, so if so, you've got some extra. But I'll go ahead and tie a bow, and then we'll put it on with dimensionals. You could add some Wink of Stella, super duper cute. Add your gems, of course. And there we have it, I'll make my ears a little smaller. And cut my little edges. Then we go ahead, we'll dimensional it onto our card front. Super cute. And then we end up with this guy. So you guys, sending you birthday wishes and comfort and strength, and mostly sending you smiles across the miles. So thank you for joining today. I'm going to go ahead. Are there any questions? Otherwise, what I do is I'll shut off the recording and then I'll come back to you guys and connect for a minute. So any questions? Not hearing any. I'm going to go ahead and close the recording and then I'll come back to you guys.